Okay, good afternoon. Uh, we welcome all of you to Insights IS, the starting of Super OGP. So, how many of you are from Delhi itself? All are from outside Delhi. Okay. So, in this session, basically, three things we are going to discuss. One, a general orientation, how should we approach UPSC exams? There's a lot of myths regarding UPSC. Second one, what you get to learn at Insights IS, or how we can say Insights IS is different from others. Not just words wise, truly when we say that how our preparation is different. And third one is that, okay, what are the challenges one will face in their preparation? So to begin with, how many of you have an understanding of UPSC exams? Like what is there? I'm not telling general understanding. Sir, prelims है, mains है और interview देना है, बाद में हम selection हो जाएंगे. That is a basic understanding of a layman person. But I'm asking that, apart from this, what else you know about the exam? Anything what you know, you can speak.
Apart from this,
Know the syllabus. Okay. Okay, let us start with UPSC. A basic thing is a government exam. You are going to be selected for certain government position. So if you go like that, there are many government exams. If you name, railways is there. You have SSC. You have CDS. You have NDA. Right, even if you go in your state government or whichever state you belong to, there also you have State Public Service Commission, state services are there. In all the government exams, including banking, if you take general studies, there is polity, there is economy, there is geography, there is current affairs, etc. Everything there is common in all. But why do we have multiple exams for this? And how different is UPSC compared to the other government exams? And in all exams, if you clear, you are going to become a government officer. The difference lies in that what are you going to occupy once you clear the exam. So in UPSC, here civil services, either you are going to get into All India services, that is Indian Administrative Service, Indian Police Service, or central services, Indian Foreign Service, Indian Revenue Service. No matter which service you go into, whichever department, you usually will be the head of the department, or you are a group A officer. Now let us think you are going to write an SSC exam, etc., or even in state we say that local exam, you are going to become what? A state level officer, maybe a group C or a group D. So what is the difference between a group A officer and a group D officer? So in every office there will be also group D officer. Let us take clerk level posts. So I am not telling those posts are inferior in any way, but I am telling how the job or the difference, how it differs. As a clerk, the maximum job you are going to do is that transferring the file to one department to other department, or you are following the commands of your superiors. But let us take you as an IAS officer or as an IPS officer, being a DC or being an SP of a district. It's not merely about by hearting things, etc. You have to solve people's problem. You are also in charge of greater responsibilities, and you also have to know how to handle public pressure, the departmental pressure, the political pressure, and many times you have to also come out with out of box solutions to solve their problems. So when we want to choose candidates that way, every exam cannot be the same. So the exam will be designed in such a way that for your local exams or group C or group D, the question paper, if you look at, it will be different. So if you have seen an SSC ka question paper, or let us think you have seen in your state public service commission or some other FDA, SDA we say in states, there the question paper what you will observe, same subjects are there, history, polity, etc. In UPSC also prelims, same subjects are there, but the nature of questions are different. So their questions will be bit more factual, questions will be bit more based on rote learning. But if you look at UPSC ka prelims question papers, they are not so factual, they are more analytical based. So it's not that a candidate who is there, who has by hearted few things, will be able to clear that exam. He also has to know how to analyze things. So if you take last year's UPSC prelims paper, there is a question they have asked. They have given following list of animals, and they told which among these animal uses a stick to catch insects and eat. Now you can tell, sir, how do we know, how can we study all that? Now they are looking not for by hearting skills, they are looking for whether the candidate, is he using his common sense. So the options they had given was orangutan, second one they have given sloth bear, third one they have given a bird, and fourth one some other animal. So if you look among all the animals, orangutan is the only primate which is there, which has fingers, which can use a stick. Sloth bear has claws, it cannot use a stick. So answer is orangutan. Now if you tell, sir, this is there in which book? It is not there in any book, it is pure common sense. So in UPSC exams, the question paper demands for a student to apply his mind and apply his common sense. That's why we say it's not about how many hours you sit and study. It's not about whether you have joined coaching anywhere. See, you have joined coaching in Insight, somebody would have joined coaching somewhere else. So if you think that by joining a coaching alone I am going to clear the exam, that's not the truth. Coaching will help to a certain extent, but you should not be blinded to an extent. Is that, when I was preparing, when I had not gone to any coaching and all, I was preparing from Bangalore itself as a center. So a lot of people who had come to coaching, like they used to go to coaching for Delhi from Bangalore. That time I think Wajiram was the most popular academy. So all those students, like their attitude was that हम एक स्टेप वाजीराम में अंदर गया, दूसरा स्टेप हम मुसौरी में डालेंगे. But none of them never went to Mussoorie. They never used to clear prelims only. One of the reason is that it's not by joining somewhere else you get into prelims. You have to take ideas from there. Okay, how to prepare, what to prepare. That is more important part. Books and content part, if you see in today's environment, in a digital age, no longer it's a secret. Everybody knows which book to read. Every topper has his own blog. Every topper has his own Telegram channel. Everybody is updating every day what is the books they read. But what is more important to learn in a coaching is that it's not about syllabus completion, etc. It's more about you are going to learn certain set of skills. Okay, what skills are required for this exam, that I will explain through my own journey. So to introduce myself, I am Nikhil Gowda. I teach polity and international relations at Insights and political science optional, and I have done my graduation in civil engineering BE, and then I did my post graduations in masters in public policy from National Law School. That was done after my UPSC journey when I did my masters. Now I have given 2 UPSC interviews in that regard, and my optional was political science. So I have written 4 mains and I have given 2 interviews. Now end of the day, sir, why you are not in the list, that I will explain through my mistakes, what I did, which one should not. So after my engineering, I did not immediately come into civil services. I decided that I'm going to my family business, and after 3-4 years I felt that business is not everything, that I have to do something. So that is when I got an idea that I'll try UPSC. So the problem back then was that in Bangalore, Insights was not yet established. Means Insights was still a website at that point of time, and I was not a person who was so much interested to go to Delhi and take coaching and all. So I felt that I'll start do individual preparation. So I decided to apply for the exam. The moment I decided I'm going to write, it was month of December. February notification came and I applied. So my father had taken me to one of his friend who actually was connected to an institute in that regard, and he was a very senior person. So he asked me that, so you are going to write this prelims? I told, yeah, I am going to write prelims. So he told, you have only decided in December, now you have applied in February, and he told, first of all, what is your optional subject? Because when you apply for prelims, I have to also choose optional subject. So that time I told, my optional subject is history. So he told, why history? So I told, because I was the school topper in history and all. But he tried to explain that optional history is different, what you read in school is completely different, but my maturity was also not so much. So he thought even if I tell him any more things he won't understand. He told, okay, fine. So then he told, okay, and initially there was only 4 attempts for general merit. Later 2 attempts was given. So he told, only 4 attempts are there. So don't you think you are wasting one attempt if you go right, because you are not prepared? Mera uttar tha, no sir, this is my practice. Next attempt pakka I will clear, I am very smart and all. So he came to know, this fellow is in his own zone. So he told, okay, chalo beta, achhe padho. So then what to do, how to prepare for prelims? So I went and saw, because coaching though I was not interested to join. Now I went and saw some website, there were some books there given, like Lakshmikant you have to read, etc. Now time is too short now, exam is in May or something like that. So I found one book, there was a guide, and that guide had everything. And I was surprised, whatever question I see, there is explanation to it. So I thought this is a magic material, magic bullet, this will solve all my problems. And I prepared that book and I went for the exam. And CSAT also I practiced something. So in exam center I met one of my senior banda tha mera college mein. So he was also preparing from 2-3 years, he had already written 2 attempts, he was more experienced. So before going to exam, I used to read various websites, and there they had written attempt how much you know, don't attempt those questions you don't know. So I attempted 48 questions and I came out of the examination. I met in break my senior, he told, oh, what are you doing here? I told, even I am writing exam. He told, how many questions you attended? I told, मैं 48 questions attend kiya. So he told, Buddhu, how will you pass by attending 48 questions? I told, why? He told, do you know what is cutoff? My maturity was not so much, I didn't know that what is meant by cutoff also that time. So he told, there will be a cutoff based on how is the performance that year. He told, last year's cutoff was 102. So I told, so what is the problem? So he told, think logically, there are 48 questions is correct. Your score is 96. So going by last year's cutoff, it is very difficult for you to, qualify. Then it synced into me what he was telling is logically correct, that I attempted too little questions. And CSAT also something I did, I came back, I knew that I was not going to clear my first attempt. And results came, I didn't clear my first attempt. Now the question started that how do I do with my second attempt. So I learned a lot of things in my first attempt. One thing I understood that this can't be done in a very short span of time. It will require some time investment. Second thing I understood there was no magic material. You have to read the standard books which are there. But the problem is that how do I go about it? So I had joined a public library in Bangalore where there is a lot of people who are appearing for civil services who are there. I came to know. And there was this one guy who was already into Indian police service. His name was Kalmesh Singhanavar. He is currently in Andhra Pradesh. So he was rewriting the exam because he wanted to improve his rank. So he was like the star of the library. Everybody used to go. And I was very scared to also to go ask him. So I was waiting for an opportunity where he's alone. So one day I found him. I went and met him. I told like so and so. So he was very good. He was is a very nice chap. So he told okay fine. He told, why don't you go join some coaching that will ease your thing. I told, no, I can't go to Delhi and all. And in Bangalore also, that point of time, there were no good institutes. So I told him, look, I have made a strategy. So he told, what? I have this book, and in this book has everything. So he show me that book. So he saw that book and he told, you are number one fool. So I told, why? So he told what that book they were doing. Now prelims paper will happen now. They'll update that into the next publication. So now for some newcomer, what will happen when you see that book? You will feel that everything in this book is only given. You don't need to do anything else. So he told it is not like that. Then I told okay, I understood the logic what he meant to say. So then he told read these standard books like Lakshmikant for polity, make a habit of reading newspaper. But one thing he told is that stress a lot on PYQs. Previous year questions bahut solve karna. Whatever you read, you look at previous year question paper, they'll give you an idea. So I started preparing well and I started writing some tests also regularly in that regard. Now things were happening good because in tests also my scores started improving. And now I was confident of prelims because now I had practiced CSAT also pretty well. And next prelims I applied and prelims went well. I was able to solve 95 questions this time. CSAT also, I did well because that time CSAT they used to count the CSAT score also to your total. Now CSAT is just a qualifying paper. For the first 3 attempts what I wrote, CSAT used to be counted for the total. So CSAT also I was scoring well. Now my parents asked me like how did you perform in the exam? So we'll check the key scores, not UPSC ka official key score, the academies would have released key score and I was scoring 120 in almost all the things, so I was confident. But still that is this element that you cannot tell your parents also, 100% I'll clear because tomorrow if you don't clear, I think. So I told it was difficult, I've done my best, we'll see. And that year one of my cousin also she wrote, uska first attempt tha. So she just passed out of college and she wrote. So we met her in a function because results had not yet come out. So my mom asked her, how was the exam? She told, auntie, it was very easy. My mom looked at me and told, this fellow is telling it is difficult. He's studying from 2 years and this female is studied for 3 months. And she told, very easy auntie, I read one material, everything came from that material. And I told, which material? She told the same material which I had read last attempt. So I came to know she is not going to clear. Results came, I cleared. Now the problem here, what I told is that for prelims, Now after my first prelims, now next 4 prelims what I wrote, throughout my attempts I cleared prelims. Prelims was no longer a challenge because somehow I knew that what should be done for prelims. Your basics should be very strong. Don't read multiple current affairs material on, just stick to one. Regularly read newspaper in that regard, because I used to read newspaper from day one. And third one, solve lot of previous year questions. Solving lot of previous year questions which will give you certain ideas that how to go about it. That you will understand as your course will progress. But one mistake I did here was that in my pursuit of what you can say prelims, I did not invest lot of time on mains. Okay, why my strategy was again wrong here for the second time? Because mains I was on the notion, because that time I had not done my masters in public policy yet, I had only done my civil engineering. So what will happen in engineering and all, when you write in your college days etc, one, you can write how much ever you want. Second thing, even if you write something related to the topic, they will give you marks. It's a degree, college ka attitude hai. So I was very good in theoretical subjects. So if any theory subject, I used to be my college topper. So this thing had stuck in my head, saying that mains is all about reading. I will go and write answers and everything. And I changed my option. Now I chose political science as my option. There also I had read certain standard books what some people had suggested. So I spent lot of time on reading, but had invested very little time on writing. So when I wrote my first mains, there were few problems which I faced. One problem what I faced was that I was not able to complete any of the papers. If you take in the exam, how many questions will be there in mains? 20 questions in GS. And in how much time you have to write? You have to write within 3 hours. So obviously, how much minutes you will get to write one question? 7 minutes or 9 minutes roughly. So obviously to write in 7 and 9 minutes, you should have revised multiple times. You have done a lot of writing practice in that regard. That practice was not there. So when I went, I holistically left, including my optional paper, around 250 marks in the exam. It's gone gaya. The only thing is that your false consciousness saying that no, somehow you will make it, thing. So results came, I was not able to get through the mains. Now I felt that okay, now next attempt, one more mistake I did not only is that I never occurred to my mind that you should do writing practice. So I thought, what, I have missed 250 marks and all. Why? Because I have not read well. So again I started reading even in more depth. Prelims again was not a problem. Prelims again I was able to clear. Now in this attempt, what happened in between, when I had gone to write my first mains, I met one friend. I made one fellow friend. He was also political science. His name was Hanmant Raju. So he was also in my same thing, that it was also his first mains etc. So both of us did not clear mains. So we had decided we'll study together for the next attempt. Combined study karenge, because his option is also, he's also close to my place only. So we used to go to the same library. He had one more friend called as Darshan HV, and that fellow had failed 4 prelims. That prelims also had failed. And that fellow, he also told, I'll also join with preparation to you. But the one problem what he had was that there was a lot of financial issues with him in that regard, and his house, they were pressurizing him to get a job. So he had written one more exam. I think you will know that Intelligence Bureau ka ACIO. He had cleared that. So he came and he told, I am going to join ACIO. Because he told that there is a lot of financial pressure in my house, and he told UPSC maybe it is not in my fate, because I have written already 4 prelims, I am not able to clear none of the prelims. He told, at least you both do well, and he went away. So we started making our preparation in that regard. But what happened once he went to, training was in Delhi, he came to Delhi, he got jaundice in that regard, and his health started to deteriorate. So the IB authorities, they said, you can't complete your training this time, do one thing, we'll give you leave, you come back next year. So this fellow came back in the month of I think November or something like that. So we went to meet him to his house one day, and he was physically deteriorated and all. Told, Abhi kya karega tu? So he told, one thing I will do, I will wait for next year. I told, instead of doing that, you can write one more attempt now, is there? He told, no, I am sick of this exam, because every time, he was a gold medalist also in engineering. He told, I have never seen that kind of failure in my whole life, and UPSC maybe it's not my cup of tea. So he told, anyway there is nothing to lose, you apply with us, you write. And ironically what he did when he applied, he told, look, both of you are political science, his was Kannada literature was the optional. So he told, I can't read the same subject again and again, I will also take political science. On the idea that he knew that he is not going to clear prelims this time also, so let me take political science. Then we prepared. The surprising part was that he cleared prelims this time with us, and now he became full panicked. saying that I've changed my optional also now. This is going to be my first mains. Know what to do. So he told, look, I don't have so much time to read political science and all. Since you both are political science, you just tell me what are the important things, I will read. And he did some kind of research and he told there is one more library where we are studying called as JSS ka library tha kuch. So there the tradition was that if you clear prelims, they'll give you 3 months free library. All those who are clearing prelims, it's like a study environment what will be there. And we know that a lot of people who have been selected already and gone 2-3 interviews are also coming there and they're doing a lot of answer writing practice. So he told we'll go there. Okay, we told okay fine. First day I went there, there was a tradition what they used to do. Every day at evening 6 o'clock, they used to give 5 questions and we have to write answers to it, 5 or 8. I had never had the habit of answer writing. Now it became mandatory that I have to do. So I wrote first day I was able to write only 2 answers. I saw others, they were writing 7 answers, 8 answers out of 10. And this Darshan who was there, he was also writing 4-5 answers. I started feeling inferiority complex. This is not going to work out. I started feeling, inside only it used to get to me and I was getting tensed a lot. So I thought I'll go back to my old library, which was more peaceful and more calm. The lesson, what you need to learn here is that to improve in these exams, you have to come out of your comfort zone. As long as you're in your own comfort zone, everything will look good, everything will look nice, everything, the motivators also will be there. They'll be always keeping you in Mussoorie. But you won't realize that dream will come crashing down if you're not in realistic world. I was in that time. So I went back to my library. In that old library, how it was, many of them were not serious. They were not studying only. They are only time pass students. They used to come, they used to do time pass. None of them used to clear prelims also. Me and one more guy, only 2 used to clear prelims. And we had a lot of bow among the aspirants there. Everybody used to look at us and tell, this fellow is clearing prelims, he's great. And when I went back to my library, I told my friends, I'm getting this inferiority complex there. There are a lot of people who are writing answers. They told, hey, why you'll go there? You be here only. Aram se likho. This time you have studied 100%, you'll get intercall. So this Darshan and Hanmantaraju, they called me and they told, you please come here because we need you. Because you're the person who have read political science well. So you come and you prepare with us. I told, look, if you have any doubts, you come here, I will get it clarified. So he told, okay, fine. So he used to write answers and used to get it to me. Because he's political science, I used to tell him, write like this, write like that. But I never wrote one answer also. Now we wrote mains. All 3 of us got the same center because same optional. And after our last mains, I still remember, this Darshan was there. It was his first mains. This was my second mains. He turned back. The last paper we had was political science. He turned back. He told, I completed all the paper, 100%, I'll get intercall. So I told, yaar, iska bahut overconfidence bahut ho gaya hai. First mains he is writing and he is telling Pakka he is going to get intercall. I have studied for 2 years, still same problem. This time slight improvement was there. I did not leave 250 and all. I left 60-70 marks. But still that satisfaction was not there. This fellow is telling he is written brilliantly and all. I thought like 2 months he has studied political science. Let him be in his own world. Let the results come. Let's see. The results came. Surprising part was that both of them got intercall. I did not get my intercall. For me, surprising was not me getting intercall. Is this fellow getting intercall? That how the hell that can happen that he studied it is only for 2 months. I developed this hatredness towards UPSC, saying that UPSC is like faltu hai, they'll give marks to anybody and all. Then he told he's going back to Delhi because IB now called him back. So he told anyway my interview will be also in Delhi. I'll finish my training and my interview. So then he came back after his interview. He had got that time Rajni Razdan board and he told interview was very difficult and all. The final results were not yet announced. Means still there was time. So then he had to go to Mangalore. He got his posting in Mangalore. And he went to Mangalore. Then next day he called me from Mangalore saying that UPSC has announced the final list in that regard and I don't have net connectivity. Can you please check my result? So even he was not so confident. He told, do one thing, check from below. So I started checking 500, 400, 300. His name was not there. So I thought, ye gaya, gone gaya. So then I just checked the top list. His name was there, 48th rank, Darshan HV. So I asked him, what is your roll number? He told his roll number, same matched. So I told, you got 48th rank and he was full happy and all. And I know, suddenly cut the call also, I'll call you back later. And in TV and all, he started coming that, because he was the Karnataka topper also. I got more depressed. I don't see, going to interview is one thing. This fellow getting 48 rank and with 3 months ka political science preparation, it crushed me in that regard. So then scores came. that crushed me even more because he had scored 281 in political science. If you see in 2015, Tina Dabi was the topper. Okay, and she had scored 290 or something in PSR. This fellow is the second All India topper. I told, yaar, ye case hai ho sakte hai. This fellow studied for 2 months. I have studied the subject for 2 years in that regard. I had got 170 in political science. So I decided I'm going to quit UPSC. It's enough. It's enough. So this fellow, he met me. Again, he came and he met me before going to Mussoorie. He told, I want to treat you because, you know, you helped me a lot in exam. So I told, this is like, you know, getting belted properly. So we went, we had dinner, and he told me one thing is that if you don't feel bad, I will tell you one thing. So I told, okay, tell me. Because he was junior to me. So he told, see, you have all the knowledge in that regard. You are more knowledgeable than me. But have you thought any time why you are not getting that interview call or why you are not scoring well in mains? I told why maybe UPSC is not evaluating correctly, etc. So I told no, because you have not practiced answer writing. And he told, I told you many times come and write answer, you didn't listen to me. Because that Hanmant Raju also had got rank, he had got 834. So he was like, मैं अंदर हूँ but still dissatisfied because the rank was very low. So I told him one thing, anyway I am not going to continue with this journey. And I told no, don't do like that. You give one more attempt, definitely is possible, but re-strategize. I will tell you that what you can do, what he did. So I told, okay, fine. And now see prelims always I used to clear, that was not a problem. Now for mains what I did, first I cut down all the resources I was reading so much. I just stuck on to what notes I have made. I did multiple revision, but one thing I added was that I wrote answers every day. Every day I wrote answers. And you know, within 3 or 4 months, now I got a grip of answer writing. Now I understood that why I was not performing well in mains. There were largely 3 things, because answer writing is a skill. Many times what we assume, we know content, we can easily write off content, but many people will realize that they can't. So last week also there was one, our last year batch ka student, like polity, he told, I've read everything, sir. So I told, okay, fine, well and good. I told, I'll give you a simple question, you write and show, don't tell. I asked him, what is the difference between due process of law and procedure established by law? Write. He could not write more than 2 sentences. It's not that he does not know, he knows. Knowing is different, writing is completely different. So many of us, what we do, we don't invest on writing skills. So this time I practiced a lot. Once I wrote the mains exam, this time I left only 10 marks. Only 10 marks throughout, including optional, etc. And that feeling was there, you know, my answers have come out well. As expected, I got my interview call. Now, the third mistake, what I did is interview. So I got my interview call in my house, everybody were happy because at last this fellow was able to get interview call. So by this time my in-house, they had become, you know, what we can say, UPSC is a journey that can change any person. If you're a believer in God, it can make you disbeliever in God, or a person who is not believer in God will start believing in God. That journey is so, you know, arduous. So in my house they had started doing this puja and all, okay, in saying that let our son clear the exam. And my mom was that this is not my son's effort, this is Bhagwan ne, you know, krupa kiya hai, that's why this fellow got interview call. So there was this astrologer my mom used to consult. So that fellow had, you know, made some prediction saying that this fellow will get interview call. That fellow will tell for everything, everybody will tell positive thing only. So my mom said we have to go consult him again now for interview. So I told, you do one thing, you have to go to this temple, that temple, some 10 temples he told. It was in Tamil Nadu, that I had to go to Tamil Nadu. So half of my interview preparation was in temples. I never sat and gave any mock. And that too only 1 mock I gave. Some academy I went and attended mock. There also one mistake, what happened was that, see when you do mocks now you have to give 3-4 marks. Because when you go on opinion of one board, maybe they are looking only from one angle. So that board told, you are very good, you are very nice, you are speaking well. So I told even they have also given a very positive feedback. So I didn't give any more marks and I was in my temple tour, etc. And this exam is also psychological pressure will be there. The reason is that, see, for me, after so much struggle, I have gone to interview. So there was a lot of desperation in me that, you know, I have to come in the list somehow. So this our astrologer, what he told before going to Delhi in that regard. So the 1 week before that, I went and met him again. So he told me, today if you ask me, I don't believe in astrology. Back then, I was a very strong believer. So I told, you do one thing, there is one temple. You go to the temple. You honestly pray in front of the temple, anything you ask will happen. So I went, so you know in South India we have this custom that outside the temple there will be a pillar we call as Garuda Gamba. So there if you ask anything, so I asked, I've come so far, get me into IS. So one person standing next to me sneezed once In South India, sneezing once, it's a bad omen. So I told, Baap re, kya ho gaya, this fellow sees. So then I told, I'll pray again. I told, forget about IAS, let my name come in the list, let it be at least Indian Railway Traffic Service, it's fine. He sneezed again once. That broke me mentally, and I went back to my astrologer and told something happened like this. So he told, don't worry, I'll see your charts. And he told, तुमको शनि का effect है, उसीलिए ऐसा हो रहा है. Do one thing, I'll give you some solution. You do that. What solution? He told, some, I don't know what is that, sesame seeds, something he told. When you go to Dolpur house, means interview, you throw it behind you and go. So some customer he told. And if you have gone to interview, you will know that interview how it will be on that given day. They'll make you first stand in a line. Like 12th fail movie, if you have seen, similar grounds. So first they will check your documents and all, then they will let you in. So my friend Hanmant Raju also had got interview, same interview. So I told him, do one thing, I have to throw this, you come between me so that nobody will see it. So I told, baap re, kya kar rahe tu interview? That was my mindset. Why I am taking that mindset? See, what is confidence? When you are not bound by these blind beliefs and all, this will happen, that will happen. Kya hona hai, ho jayega. You have to go confidently. Why I am telling all is that my mindset at that time, I was very nervous. That desperation was there. So I went to the board. By the time I got the call was afternoon. I had gone at 9 a.m. But by the time my chance came for interview, it was almost 12:30 p.m. So I had got Sri Chattar Singh ka board in 2016. So there is something called as DAF also, detailed application form, which you will have to fill. So DAF is very important because what you enter there, it's a reflection of your personality or what questions they can ask. So I had not filled it correctly. Means in the sense I had just added whatever came to my mind. Gymming, I told what was the hobby, gymming. So the chairperson, he looked at the DAF and first question he asked me that he observed that there was something called as gymming in that regard. He told, so do you go to gym? I told, yes sir, I go to gym. So he told he's also into a lot of physical fitness, but he does not go to gym or lift weights. He told he's more into running and jogging, etc. So he told, which is better? What you are doing is better or what I am doing is better? So it was a tricky question, how to say he's feeling running is better. So I told, no sir, running and jogging is better. So he asked me that, are you telling this because I told I am into jogging? No, I told, no sir, genuinely it is. So he told, why do you think so? I was able to give an answer. I told, today the generation gymming, they think more about weightlifting. Many people are also taking steroids to bulk up their muscles, which is not an healthy trend. So he told, okay, fine. Then he told, you have done civil engineering in that regard. Why didn't you work as an engineer? Because I had not worked as an engineer, I was into my family business. So I said, I was not interested in engineering, etc. So he told, then why did you join engineering first of all if you are not interested? I told, I was at an age when my maturity was not there. My parents made the decision for me. So I told, okay, fine. Still you have studied that for 4 years, so you will have to know something about engineering. Because I was not prepared on engineering subject. It was long back I had read. So I told, which project you did in your final year? So I told, we had done a project on flyover, etc. So he asked me, how do you determine the weight of a flyover? I had forgotten everything, so I didn't answer. He only told me it is based on the axle load of the vehicles, etc. Then he asked me, you are from Bangalore, and he told, that time Smart City project was launched. So he asked me, do you think Bangalore is a smart city? So I told, no sir. So he asked, why do you think so? You are from Bangalore and you don't think your city is smart. So I gave various problems of Bangalore, like, drainage problem, traffic problem, etc. But he asked me suddenly, okay, let us think you become the commissioner of the municipality there. Tell me what are the steps you are going to take to solve the problems what you have said. Why this is important is that many times when we approach interview, right, it's not only about question and answers. You should have also thought about your city, your village or district what you come from, what is the problems there. Not only knowing what is the problem, because you are not a complaint box to say a complaint. You are also going into the services to solve various problems. So you should have also thought about what is the probable solutions that you can think about. I had never thought that way, because I told I had never given any mocks. So I immediately started blurting out whatever came to my mind. He felt that, this fellow is not so organized in his thought process. He came to know, faltu ka answer here there. So he told, okay, next member can ask the question. Now the next member was a pretty old person. He was not at all audible. I didn't know he do it purposely or he was very old, he was not able. So he gave a big case study and then he asked me, tell me what is the solution. I was not able to hear anything except something rural, urban, suicide. So I told him, sir, you are not audible. So can you please repeat the question again? So he repeated the same question, but same thing, still not audible, same thing. I felt now third time if I ask, he will feel offended or something like that. So I thought, let me give an answer based on what I've understood. Maybe I thought he's asking about farmer suicides, because that time farmer suicides was a big issue. The moment I started with farmer suicide, he told, no, I'm not speaking about that. Then I told, I don't know, sir. I don't know like what is it. But okay, I'll ask next question. He told, in your DAF you are written you are the captain of your college football team. I told, huh. So he told, then I'll ask you a question on football. So what I thought he'll ask, why Indian football is not on parallel to Europe. He didn't ask that. He told, Swami Vivekananda has said, rather than reading Gita, one actively plays sports, he is closer to heaven. So he told, what did he mean by that? It was out of my, thinking ability that time. Again under pressure also, I told, sir, I don't know. So he was very disappointed. Like 2 questions also I gave, don't know. Okay, third question he told, if you see in civil service exams, girls are topping the exam, but overall representation of women is very less. Why do you think so it is like that? So I just gave one word answer, because I had intention that saying, just I wanted to get out of the hall. So I told, sir, it is because of patriarchy. Suddenly that fellow was silent. He got aggressive, what you are telling patriarchy in 21st century also, do you think we are patriarchal? And he started pointing fingers at chairman. Sir, he's telling patriarchy in 21st century. I got full scared. I've given some wrong answer. Then I kept silent, and he told, okay, if that is the case, tell me what is the solution for it. Now next answer I gave was that, sir, we'll give reservation to women. In Karnataka we have state services, we have reservation to men. He again, he countered me saying that, what are you speaking about? Lot of reservation we have given now only. Don't you think the efficiency of the administration will go? And I don't remember what I said. I blurted out something. Then he also came to know this fellow is gone, almost gone. And the other 2 members largely asked me question on foreign policy, because my option was political science. So once I came outside the interview hall, that feeling sank in, that interview has not gone so well. And I got 140 in interview. I missed the rank by almost 12 marks. If I had got 170 in interview, I would have been in the list. Now what is the lesson you need to learn about interview, what I said here? Interview is not about knowledge. It's not about what you know or what you don't know. It's about a personality test. They won't even call it as interview, they call it as personality test. So UPSC has clearly mentioned that what they are looking in an aspirant. So basic things are there: honesty, integrity, and you can say confidence level should be very high. So what will happen in interviews in that regard, since you will be lot under pressure, one, you cannot fake things, or you should be a very good person who is skilled enough to fake to that extent. Second thing is that they are also looking at a confident person, because if you can't handle 5 people board, tomorrow how you can handle a whole district which comes under you, because you have to act under pressure, you have to take decisions under pressure. So they are going to look at your traits. See, simple now, if I ask, are you honest? Are you honest or not? Are you honest? Everybody will give the answer as yes only. When you can judge a person's honesty, it is through interaction. So when you are under pressure, they will come to know what you have said in first time and what you will say. Means they will see whether you will change your stand. That you won't realize. That is through a conversation that will be done. So interview is always about being honest, being confident about what you know or what you don't know. Why I told is that one of my friend also who gave interview, the same board, they asked him the same questions, because we discussed once we came back from interview. He got 210. So though his written score was less than mine, he got a rank because his interview score was exceptional. When the member asked him the same question of that girls are getting a rank, their overall representation, what answer he gave was that he also gave the answer, it is patriarchy. This member gave the same reaction, saying that what are you saying patriarchal? So he was never perturbed. He was highly confident. He told, no sir, even in 21st century, we are patriarchal. So the member was taken aback and told, then he added one more sentence. He told, sir, I am an example of patriarchy sitting in front of you. So member got confused. He told how you are an example of patriarchy. He told, I have a sister. So she was also preparing for civil services. She was not able to clear prelims once. Now she is married. My parents married her off. This is my 6th attempt. And my parents are encouraging me to give one more attempt also if possible. So boys will get more number of opportunities. Girls are denied these opportunities. That is why I said patriarchy is one of the major reason. And the board was impressed. So the moment they not agree with your statement does not mean you change your stand or etc. It's your opinion. You need to back your opinion by what you think is the right way. He didn't get 210 for only that. The other things also he said went good. So this is why I told prelims, mains and interview are the 3 stages in the exam, and all 3 stages have its own demand. Popularly what we think is that everything is the same. No. For prelims you need certain set of skills. For mains you need certain set of skills. For interview you need certain set of skills. So in prelims it's more about your conceptual clarity and your smartness in prelims hall in that regard. So let us take how can we solve 95 questions when we don't know everything. So once when I wrote prelims, there was a question that asked about Karai camels. Okay, the first time I saw that word only in this exam, Karai camel, I had never read about Karai camel. First statement they had given, Karai camels are found along the coast of Gujarat. Second statement they had given, Karai camels feed on the mangroves which are found along the coast. Third statement they had given was that Karai camels are wild, they cannot be domesticated. And options were 1 only correct, 1 and 2 are correct, 1, 2, 3 are correct, etc. Now, I have not studied about Karai camels, first time I am looking in the examination hall, but you have to use your brains. That is on a dimag ki batti jalao. So there the third statement, what was there? Karai camels cannot be domesticated, they are only found in wild. Common sense now, which animal you can say cannot be domesticated, especially a camel that cannot be domesticated. Today we are domesticating elephants, etc. That statement is incorrect. If that statement is incorrect, you will get the answer, because if you go according to the options, one statement did not have 3, all other had 3. 1, 2, 3, 1 and 3, 2 and 3, 1 and 2. So answer is 1 and 2. So many times in prelims you have to be street smart. It's not only bookish knowledge what you read. For mains, as I said, you need to be good in writing. Okay, if you are very good in reading, etc., etc., it won't work out unless you are going to write very well. Many times you see in optional subject it happens like this, that those who are not from humanities, they actually perform better than those who are from humanities in the optional subject. Last year's rank 1, if you take political science, she is from commerce background. Get a point? The reason is simply it is nothing connected to knowledge what you possess. You need the knowledge to a certain extent. Beyond knowledge you need skills. Writing skills, how to write answers, that will develop over a period of time. And for interview, what is a set of skills is required? You have to be good in speaking. And one, you have to be a very confident person. Second one, you have to know things what you have written in your DAF in that regard, because questions can come that way. And more important, it is merely a conversation what you are having with 5 elderly people, etc. So if you are able to do that, you will get a decent marks. So that's why I said when you look at prelims, mains and interview, don't think that all 3 of them are the same. Each stage there is a skill. And what is the meaning of a coaching is that don't think coaching is like school. You come, they'll give you homework, you solve your homework, you'll go back. That's why I keep saying coaching will help 30 to 40%. Rest 60% is our own effort. And in Insights, that's what I told, why we are providing mentorship in that regard, because in most of the Delhi institutes in that regard, what I have seen when I have come, we have spoken to the people, the faculties won't interact with the students, neither they get the frequent access to meet them or mentor them. But that is what is different with Insights is that we have always have mentorship. Means your portal, on your portal you can go and access your mentor in that regard, or you want mentorship from somebody else also, that you can say their Telegram ID will be provided, or when the faculty is here you can interact with them. So mentorship plays a key role. In mentorship, what is the difference between mentorship and classroom? In classroom, you can introduce a concept, you can introduce a subject. In mentorship, your skills needs to be developed. Okay, how to approach this question? When you write an answer, who is there to give a feedback on that particular answer? So that is the idea behind why in Insights we have included mentorship. And third one, as I said now, results or rank, it's not only dependent on which academy you join. It's not based on that. It's based on your own set of skills, and you have to constantly develop those skills through writing tests. So that's why every week you will have a test on Sunday that you have to write, take a feedback from your mentors and look to how to improve. And more importantly for this exam is required confidence. Okay, don't try to think that sir 8 lakh people apply kar rahe and in that only 1000 people can get selected. Yeah, if you look from that angle you can say it's very, very competitive, etc. But do you think all 8 lakh people would have been preparing very seriously? What is the percentage of people who will be preparing very seriously? It's just 10%. Maximum there will be 70 to 80,000 people. Then what about these 7 lakh people? They are like flowing water. Every year they will come, every year they will go. Why? There are two things. One thing is that some set of students are arrogant. Arrogant in the sense, I am from IIT Delhi, I am from IIM, I know everything. You might be a champion in IIT or IIM. This is different. I am a topper in degree. It does not count. Or some people will be highly underconfident. Why? Because sir, I failed in degree, my graduation is not so great. Your graduation is no way related to your performance in this exam. Plain, I told my friend Hanmant Raju who got rank, he got into IRS. That fellow failed in degree twice. 2 times he failed in degree. 2 times he got year back in that regard. Then he cleared his degree, but he got a rank in UPSC. So there is no link between your past performance and this exam. This exam is completely different. One thing. Second thing is that some students won't be in the real world. They'll be in their ideal world. So what we can say, motivation is important. You have to be motivated, but you cannot be blindly motivated. What is motivation, inspiration? Tu banega, zarur tu IAS banega. Question is that how will you happen? How you need to prepare? That is important. That you also have to work practically. With that, if you take the confidence level, it will work. So when we were in school, they used to tell us a story to say that that applies to UPSC more aptly. UPSC exam is not for rote learning parrots. Those who focus more on by-hearting things, here you cannot by-heart, you have to understand. So the story what they used to tell in our schools is that how to make us understand things. There were 2 close friends, very, very close friends, and one fellow was very smart from the beginning. He used to understand things, etc. The other fellow was not so smart, more of a by-hearting candidate, but they were best friends, and their names is also in such a way that in school when they sit, this fellow will come in front, this fellow will come behind. Their friendship is so close was that this smart fellow used to show his answers in all the exam to this not so smart fellow. So that is how they were able to, both of them used to get almost similar marks, rank. They cleared college, school, they joined the same college, in same college also they got same marks, and finally the D-Day arrived. D-Day was campus interview. Now this not so smart guy, he felt bad. The reason is that copying I can copy with respect to the written part. What do I do in interview? So he felt sad and he went and discussed with his friend saying that no, you will get selected, no, I won't get selected, what to do? So the smart fellow was very smart. He told, don't worry, that also I have inquired with the attender. The board is asking same questions to everybody. And here also after my interview, your interview is there. So I will go to the interview hall, they will ask me questions, I will tell them the answers, I will come back. Between that 5 minutes gap what is there, I will tell you what is the answer, you just go repeat it. You will also get selected. So he was also became happy, this fellow happy. So they were happy that we are going to work in the same company. So the smart fellow went. First question they asked the smart fellow, when did India get independence? So this fellow is smart, he won't give direct answer. He told, sir, the process started in 1857 and finally it culminated in 1947. They told, bahut badhiya, you know history so well. Then one more member asked him, can you name freedom fighter of India, anyone? So he's smart, he didn't give an answer. He told, sir, there are a lot of people who have worked hard for this cause, so I can't take one name, it will be injustice, it's a collective effort. So they told, you were wonderful, you're diplomatic also. Then they told, last question what we are going to ask you, what is the cure for AIDS? So he told, research is going on, we have not yet found out. So they told, okay, you're selected, you please send the next candidate. So this fellow went and he told him the answers, this fellow by-hearted the answers, he went, but he didn't know that board changed. The board members were there, new members came in. So first they asked him, when were you born? So he told, sir, the process started in 1857 and finally it happened in 1947. They told, what the hell, what is this fellow telling? And one of the member got angry and told, hey baap re, tera baap kaun hai? Who is your father? So he told, sir, there are hundreds of people who have worked towards it. I can't name any one name. It's a collective effort. Then they felt, what the hell? They told, have you gone mad? So he told, research is going on, they have not yet found. So if you try to by heart, the same thing is going to happen in a UPSC exam. By heart won't work. Get in mind? So you cultivate a habit of understanding concepts. Even if it is taking time, it's fine. Don't hurry into your preparation saying that, I have to complete my preparation. Take your own time. Mentors will be there to help you. Focus more on understanding the concepts. Don't be scared by current affairs, because current affairs ka booth hai na, like so much is there to read. if you really understood the examination process, current affairs does not play such a key role. It's just hyped up by the market in that regard. Cultivate the habit of reading newspaper. Okay, no matter who says what, see what will happen with toppers. Now, some topper will come and tell, I never read newspaper, but he would have read it in his initial days because nobody will clear in first attempt only. Or some people will have a habit of reading newspaper from a very young age. Okay, so nobody is asking you to read newspaper for 5 hours, 6 hours, etc. Read for 1 hour. Initially, it will be difficult to read a newspaper. Newspaper classes will be done. They will tell you how to approach a newspaper, what to read in it, what to not read in it. Especially focus on the editorial page. Why editorial page? Editorial page will help you to develop your analytical abilities. Second one, initial days don't worry too much about current affairs. Try to follow the core classes, core subjects what we say. Polity, history, geography, economy, environment, science and technology. IR, agriculture, these are all non-core subjects. Okay, first try to complete your core subjects. So if you have already read NCERT, that is good. Okay, but if you have not read NCERT, the faculties will tell you, respective faculty will tell you which NCERT you need to read. Read those NCERTs. Don't try to make detailed notes and all. Just read them. Try to mark there itself. Notes will be provided in class. It depends upon faculty to faculty. Like for me and Manjunath sir will hand polity, will dictate class in notes itself. Politica, current affairs ka inclusive notes. But for some faculties, they'll give you printed material that you have to go through. Okay. And answer writing practice, we will groom you. Means initial days only you can't write answers because you need content. But after a period of time, we'll start the answer writing process and all your mentors will be here. So I don't know, here we have Rajnish sir who will be always here. And faculties will be consistently coming, and we have one more mentor also, I forgot his name. So they will be helping and guiding you, and all the faculties ka Telegram ID will be shared. So any doubts you get at any point of time, you can directly reach out to them. All you need to do for next 1 year is that 3 things. Have patience, okay, because these are not things which can be achieved in 3-4 months, because there was one candidate last year who had come, highly motivated candidate. He came and told, sir, I have to clear the exam in 4-5 months, 6 months, I karunga. I told, how? So he told what the faculties are telling and what you are telling, it's all long term, etc. So he told, do you know about Artika Shukla? I told, okay, yeah, she got rank 4. So what about it? So I saw her interview. She told she studied for 6 months and she was able to clear. So even I have to do it. So I told, what else you know about Artika Shukla? Yeah, you saw interview, she told she cleared in. What else you know? He told, that is what I know. I'll tell you extra thing what you have to know. She is All India Institute of Medical Science. One thing. So what are you? You don't have some basic degree. Okay. Second, our own brother who is there, he cleared the exam the previous year, got into Indian Administrative Service. Uska matlab, she knows beforehand, from before, there is a strong sense of what to read, how to prepare, etc. So don't take 1 or 2 examples and try to apply to your life that I am going to be that exceptional candidate. Okay, one swallow does not make a summer. Okay, swallow is a bird which appears in England, which swallow, when swallow comes is that summer season has come. So you are unique. Don't try to use one size fits all approach. Try to have your own uniqueness in that regard. But yeah, there are things which you should do, which you should not do. So why I told my journey as an example, the mistakes what I had committed, that you should not do. Not compromise on answer writing. And remember one thing, unless you come out of your comfort zone, growth does not happen. If you are in your comfort zone, you are not going to grow. There will be always, when you write your tests, your confidence will go down. But don't let your confidence go down. Just look into where you need to improve. What many candidates, previous candidates, they do now, they'll write 2 or 3 tests. So they'll start getting less scores. So they'll tell, sir, we are getting demotivated. So one way best to avoid demotivation is what? Don't write test only. Then you won't get demotivated. But when real demotivation will happen, when you write the actual exam in that regard, that time you will be exposed. So if you write tests here, even if you are getting lesser marks, it will highlight where are the areas you can improve. Okay. But if you are not going to write a test and you are in your own bubble in that regard, not ready to come out of your comfort zone, obviously then you will have to pay a price. So that's why I told, come out of your comfort zone, and once you come out of your comfort zone, things will be much easier. Initial days you might feel it is difficult, but as you proceed with, things will become much simpler and easier. And that's why we believe that we want to produce ranks. It's not only about do some coaching and throw some material with the students and you are ended with the coaching. So the goal with what actually Vinay sir started, if you think Insights growth journey, so Insights started as a website. It was purely as a website which started. That website started gaining traction. Why? Because when Vinay sir started the website, it was a pure intention of cultivating answer writing habits among students. Because when syllabus changed in 2013, prior to that, answer writing was not a big part of this examination process. But because of the syllabus change, what happened with more GS subjects, etc., and the pattern what they changed, writing within 150 words, answer writing started gaining thing. And then from a website, what Vinay sir did, he formed a batch called as core batch, selecting 100 students, only focusing on tests, etc. And you can say that started giving results to Insights. So that is when we got Nandini Kar All India rank 1. Then even recent times, if you see who is that, Avinash All India rank 31, or if you take Jaidev All India rank 5. So it was through these mechanisms that we started producing rank. Then we grew as an academy. So our motto is, I don't know what other academies, our motto is not that you do a classroom, do a class. See, most of the class, even if you go to YouTube, it is available. It's not anything big we are going to do. But here in our classes, we are going to emphasize on 3 things. Not only the knowledge part, but also the examination skill part. Prelims, mains, skill. Interview we'll look at later. Largely our important is prelims and mains. The other thing we'll have to do, I think most of you are going to write in 2025. Right. So other thing you'll have to also do is that select an optional subject and prepare the optional subject before December. Don't think that after prelims I'm going to prepare my optional subject, because anyway it is for mains. You should be in a position that when you clear prelims, there's nothing preparation left for mains. So don't start preparation for prelims, start preparation for mains exam. Prelims will be integrated within it. Getting a point? So shortly there will be sessions in, I think, coming weeks in that regard, where every optional orientation will be there. So you look into what is more suitable for you. Okay, so you can look into your educational background, you can also go through previous year question papers, you can also read certain basic NCRTs about that optional to get an understanding whether you like it or not, or attend demo classes of all the optional subject to get an idea which is more suitable for you, then you decide. Okay, so it should be your choice, it should not my choice or somebody else's choice. Understood? So this is what broadly we can give a basic orientation that how classes will happen. So if any of you have any doubt, you can ask. Any doubt anybody has regarding anything, preparation part or the course part? No doubt on it. So no doubt, anything else? Okay, if there's no doubt, then we wish all of you, what you can say, the very best because of your UPSC journey. And that's what I told, 2 things you keep in your mind: have confidence, have belief on yourself. Don't try to think whether you will clear the exam, not clear the exam. You won't find an answer to it. If you keep worrying whether I'll clear, whether I'll not clear, etc. So start thinking you're going to clear, but start finding an answer that how you are going to clear, or what are the things that are needed to clear this exam. 100% you will discover the solution for it. So that's what I say. I think your economy classes is starting today. With that, I think Ayush Sanghi sir will be taking the class. So wish you all the very best. So if you have any doubt anytime, you can please reach out to the team members. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.